Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome back to the library. Welcome back to another video. And today we have an unboxing of our latest Junior Library Guild monthly box. However, I have to preface this time by saying we have gone down in the number of books that we subscribe to every month. So if you've watched my past videos, you know we usually get 8 books a month, but today we only have 5. So I've narrowed it down to the categories that I think are the most appealing to students, like mystery, just like popular young adult books, things like that. I cut out the graphic novels because what students really want is more like the manga, like the Japanese style ones. Not as much the ones with the big heavy topics like they were sending me. So without further ado, let's look at our 5 books so we can spend a little longer now on each one. I still don't want this video to be too long, obviously, but we don't have to rush as much as I feel like we were when we had the 8 books. So I opened the box, but I've not seen what's in here. Like I always say, I have picked out these books, like they have chosen these books for me, obviously, but I've approved of them in advance months ago though, so it's been so long that I don't remember what I picked. Some of them, sometimes I do switch out books. I think I see one that I did switch out. Okay, this first one, I feel like I have seen this on BookTube. Was it maybe Kayla from Books and Lala read this? I can't remember. There was some famous booktuber that definitely read this recently. These Fleeting Shadows by Kate Alice Marshall. And it looks like the little tagline is, I promise to tell the truth, but first I have to lie. Okay, so it definitely looks creepy. This will be perfect for Halloween time here, which of course we only have like a week till Halloween, but on the back, it just says, the bid for her family's inheritance will leave Helen Vaughn either rich or dead. Oh, I know why I heard of this, because somebody said it was like the movie Knives Out. And I just recently read The Inheritance Games because, of course, it's all over like TikTok and it's so popular. And I did not like it. It was just very mediocre. I have no desire to continue and finish that trilogy. But I hear that this one might be like the better version of that. So let's read and see what it's about. It says, Helen Vaughn doesn't know why she and her mother left their ancestral home at Harrowstone Hall, there we go, called Harrow, or why they haven't spoken to their extended family since. So when her grandfather dies, okay, that sounds very reminiscent of The Inheritance Games, she's shocked to learn that he has left everything, the house, the grounds, the money, to her. The inheritance comes with one condition. She must stay on the grounds for 1 full year or she'll be left with nothing. Oh wow, that's exactly what The Inheritance Games is. Okay, that's really weird. There's more at stake than money though, for as long as she can remember it. This house has haunted her dreams, and now those dreams have become a waking nightmare. So I guess this has a more like horror element to it than The Inheritance Games. She needs to uncover the secret if she's going to survive. Why is the house built like a labyrinth? Why is digging the holes that appear in the woods every night? Or what is digging them? Ooh. And why does the house itself seem to be making her sick? Okay, so basically it's like The Inheritance Games, but scary, and maybe it's actually better. I didn't like the love triangle kind of aspect that was going to go on in The Inheritance Games. Like I said, I didn't really care about anything that was happening, so maybe I'll look into some reviews and see if people recommend this one, and maybe I'll give this one a try instead. It looks like the next book is one, I think I swapped this one out because I knew that it was going to be popular, because it's by this author named Sandy Van, who usually writes like novels written in verse, and this one's called Caught in the Haze, and it looks like it has a soccer ball on it. So anytime that it's about sports and it's written in verse, which I'm gonna assume, yep, it is written in like poetry form. So these really are like different poems. Like these have titles and everything. That I know this author has been really popular because they're short and they're written in verse. So these are for more like reluctant readers. It says, Tay has moved twice in his life. Oh, I'm glad that the main character is a male protagonist, which I try to make sure I have some male and some female protagonists, because so many students have told me, why do all the books have like so many female protagonists? So I'm trying to get more male protagonists, especially because our test scores, which recently were released, and this is the case for most schools, is that the boys have way lower reading scores than the girls. So I'm trying to find ways to promote reading more to boys. So I'm trying to get a lot more male protagonists and even male authors too. It says first from South Korea to the United States when he was adopted as a baby, and then to a new town before he starts high school. That's the two times he's moved apparently. In Tay's new school, he's one of the youngest players and the only person of color trying out for the varsity soccer team, a team known for its violent hazing practices. Tay wants more than anything to be a part of the team, but worries about fitting in. Then he sees a familiar face. Luke is a soccer star on his way to scoring a role as the team captain and a full ride to college, but no one knows his secret, that he was adopted too. Tay and Luke met in an adoption group years before, and Luke's first instinct is to help Tay fit in. But tradition is tradition, and Luke might not be able to save Tay from being hurt in the hazing rituals without risking his own reputation. Ooh, so it's called Caught in the Haze. So about hazing rituals in high school sports. Okay, so I think that one will wind up being very, very popular. It looks like the next one, I believe, is a sequel. I have heard of this one. It is All of Our Demise, which is the sequel sequel and I believe final installment. I think it's just a duology, but I could be wrong, to All of Us Villains, which I've heard a lot about. I don't know anything about the first one except that I think it's sort of like Hunger Games-y and they have to like kill each other. Yeah, it's, but there's magic involved. It's fantasy. So it says magical, clever, and cutthroat. Carefully considered mythology? Oh, wait. Oh, this is praise for All of Us Villains. Okay, because it says it left off on a cliffhanger. It was a modern day fairy tale, but it's blood-soaked, brimming with magic, spectacle, and unforgettable characters. So I don't really know what the first one is about that much, but I don't want to spoil it by reading this. But is this the finale? Yes, the conclusion to the tournament that started. I just don't like tournament stories. I don't know why. Even though this one's gonna involve magic and killing people and stuff, I don't know. Somehow I'm just not really intrigued by this and I probably will never read it, but at least we have the sequel for people that read the first one. 2 books to go. I recognize this one, Nothing More to Tell by Karen McManus. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I read One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus over the summer because it is the most popular book in our library 2 years running now. It did not live up to the hype, I must say. I thought it was a mystery because that's what we have it categorized here. That's what it's sort of advertised as. However, it wound up mostly being realistic fiction about the main characters dealing with their issues, like they all had drama going on, and it was really more about that. And the mystery was just kind of in the background. And so I just went into it thinking it was gonna be more mystery. I was looking for something similar to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and that was not it. So this one I believe is a true mystery though. Most of her books really are, I think, more mystery than that one was, but I probably won't ever try anything from this author again. But this one's called Nothing More to Tell. She also wrote, Two Can Keep a Secret, You'll Be the Death of Me, all these little teen thrillers that are, I guess, really appealing to students. So this one says, 4 years ago, Bryn left St. Ambrose School following the shocking murder of her favorite teacher. Ooh, a story that made headlines after the teacher's body was found by 3 St. Ambrose students in the woods behind their school. The case was never solved. Now that Bryn is moving home and starting her dream internship at a true crime show, she's determined to find out what really happened. Okay, now that sounds like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder because she has a true crime podcast. The kids who found Mr. Larkin are her way in, and her ex-best friend, Trip Talbot, was one of them. Without his account of the events, the other 2 kids might have gone down for Mr. Larkin's murder, but instead, thanks to Trip, they're now at the top of the St. Ambrose social pyramid. Trip's friends have never forgotten what he did for them that day, but neither has he. Just like he hasn't forgotten that everything he told the police was a lie. Digging into the past is bound to shake up the present, and when Bryn begins to investigate what happens in the woods that day, or happened in the woods, she uncovers secrets that might change everything about St. Ambrose, about Mr. Larkin, about her ex-best friend, Trip Talbot. 4 years ago, someone got away with murder. More terrifying is that they might be closer than anyone thinks. Sounds very reminiscent of Good Girl's Guide to Murder to me. So, I don't know. I'll have to see if people actually say it's like well written, if it's good or not, and then maybe I'd check it out. And it's time for our final book, which I do remember swapping out. I picked The Book Eaters, even though it is a technically an adult fantasy novel, but it was listed as sort of a crossover with young adult interest as well. And it was really short, and we don't have too many standalone short fantasy novels, so I thought that this would be perfect for like kind of reluctant readers, but that still want something kind of fantasy. Well, not really reluctant, because they're probably not going to read adult if they're reluctant, but people that just don't want a massively long fantasy book. And it was blurbed by Victoria Schwab, who I love. Let's see what it is. I don't know too much about what it's about, except people eat books. It kind of reminds me, I'm sure it's nothing like it, but there was a book called City of Dreaming Books. I love that book, and it is sort of about people like doing a lot of different things with books, and I think there were like these things that did eat books in there. But anyway, it says, out on the Yorkshire moors, okay, that's a cool setting already, lives a secret line of people for whom books are food, and who retain all of the book's content after eating it. To them, spy novels are a peppery snack. Well, and I love food, so this is great. Romance novels are sweet and delicious. Eating a map can help them remember destinations, and children, when they misbehave, are forced to eat dry, musty pages from dictionaries. Oh, that's great. I feel like that little paragraph alone would convince a lot of students to read this book. Devon is part of the family, an old and reclusive clan of book eaters. Her brothers grew up feasting on stories of valor and adventure, and Devon, like all book eater women, was raised on carefully curated diets of fairy tales and cautionary stories. But real life doesn't always come with happy endings, as Devon learns when her son is born with a rare and darker kind of hunger, not for books, but for human minds. What? Whoa, so it's gonna get creepy. It says, this darkly sweet pastry of a book about family, betrayal, and the lengths we will go to for the ones we love. a delicious modern fairy tale. Ooh, but then it kind of sounds dark. Okay, I'm gonna read this. This is the one I'm definitely most excited about. Speaking of that, okay, yeah, definitely most excited about this one, and honestly, not too excited about the rest of them. Probably won't read any of them except maybe this one, but I just didn't like Inheritance Games, and this sounds so similar. And I've never seen the movie Knives Out, which apparently I just need to go watch. But anyway, I'm very excited about this one, and we'll totally be watching it. So those are our 5 books that we got for our September, is that our, no, October book box. There we go. I don't even know what month it is. Hopefully you saw something interesting in there. I've never heard of Caught in the Haze. I guess that was the only new one to me. The rest I'd at least heard of. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.